The previous videos showed how to pull together a collection of evidence TTPs and then overlay it with the theory TTPs. This video will provide an exercise on building out attack navigator layers for the scoring that was completed, the defenses available, and combining those for our risk layer. We will not be showing the process of scoring the TTPs, so if you need more details on scoring, please review that section prior to this video. As you can see, I have the completed scoring navigator layer currently showing on my screen. We're going to walk through how this was created. First, we are going to set the color setup. Since there are 5 different priority categories for scoring, we will have values 1 through 5 as low and high. 1 will represent the strong theory and strong evidence, whereas 5 will represent no theory and no evidence. We are designated 1 with a red value and 5 with a green value. The midpoint will be orange, and this allows for consistency between the scoring section outline and the navigator layer. Once these values are set, you can start adding in your scoring criteria by selecting and either typing your score or up selecting until you get to the score that you'd like to assign. In this case, modify authentication process has some theory and some evidence, so it was given a score of 3, whereas valid accounts has strong theory and some evidence, which makes it a score of 2. You should go in and add all your scores. For this example, we are only scoring the 10 that appeared in both evidence and theory. Once you have all your scores entered in, we will then jump over to the defenses. We compiled these defenses by utilizing the center's previous Mapping Explorer project and looking specifically for TTPs we are scoring. By doing this, we are able to identify the Azure Security Capabilities mappings. We are going to follow a similar process as we did for scoring by first assigning the color setup. For our low and high values, we used a low of 0 since some TTPs have no security capabilities available. Then for our high value, we set that to 15 because the highest number of defenses were for brute force with a total of 15 capabilities. Then we assigned each TTP a score based on the number of security capability mappings they had. For instance, account manipulation had 3, whereas modify authentication process had 1. To easily identify the TTPs with no mappings, we highlighted them using gray, as seen with Command and Scripting Interpreter. You also have the option to just score it as a 0, but we wanted to make sure they were easily identifiable. So you're going to go through and add in all your scorings for the defenses. And then once you're done, we're going to look at the final step. And this is to put the scoring and the defenses together to get a risk layer. This will be done by adding the 2 values. So the lower the value, the higher the risk. The higher the score, the lower the risk. Since our high value for scoring was 5, and the highest for the defense layer was 15, our possible total for the risk layer would be 20, and then we'd have a low of 1. An example of this would be modify authentication process had a score of 3 and 1 security capability mapping. This would give it a score of 4. Another one would be brute force. That had a score of 2 with 15 security mappings, which gave it a score of 17. This risk layer is another opportunity to prioritize your TTPs and allow your organization to focus on ones with higher risk.